Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robbie Mills. I am joined by the Wrestling HQ. What a disaster Chain Reaction was. Wrestling HQ, you can say hello.
Hola.
Yes. Chain Reaction.
What a mess.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Now, admittedly, a huge portion of why this was such a mess wasn't their fault. But there was nothing on the show that was like I haven't seen the whole women's title match, but I do know that Millie won. Millie, come here, Millie. I don't know what the fuck that was, but but Chain Reaction 2018. If you guys at home, you couldn't sign up for Access Defiant, you can't buy it on Fight TV. So you're like, oh man, I can't watch the show. Don't worry, neither could we. It was, oh man, I have no words. Chain Reaction. Alex, what were your thoughts of the show?
Meh.
No.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
right, look.
It wasn't bad.
Right, look. I'm gonna quickly go on Access to Fight, man. I'm gonna scroll down. So Chain Reaction, right? Last show we got main event of the last pay-per-view. We got Marty Skull, Joe Henry, Kirby. Already feels bigger than a match between for the entire company. That triple threat felt bigger than this, and that is shocking. And then we go down even further. We have stats. Skull vs Ospreay, 17. Fantastic.
That was,
well,
yeah. I refused to lose. Ospreay, Hendry with Skull cashing in.
Yeah. This main event did not work because, again, I hate to say this because it's nitpicking. I know that they're getting new funding to hopefully they can bring in these bigger stars, but it feels like they're waiting. That they've got a bunch of mid-carders and Austin Aries.
Yeah, I mean,
and I hate to say that, but who's going to dethrone him? No one. I mean, I don't.
Let me just get this straight right now. Everyone, just so everything's clear, everyone on Team Defiant is awesome. Everyone on Team IPW was awesome. Admittedly, I would rather Chris Ridgway be in it, but unfortunately, he's a tiny bit injured right now. He'll be back very soon, but he's a tiny bit injured right now.
Yeah, also as well, the one thing that pissed me off, because me and Robbie in the predictions were so excited. We were like, okay,
who's the fifth man, brother?
Who's the fifth man? And then there's a segment where Stu's on the phone, turns around, it's Rampage, and we're like, oh.
Like, we both love Rampage, but it's like,
just announce him.
Yeah, like, well, I guess they couldn't, because it's like, if they did, it would be like, why is Rampage doing double duty?
Well, just be like, just stepping up for Defiant to make him look like a more babyface, a larger babyface.
I mean, I suppose, but like, and by the way, just to say something real quickly, we're very hard on Chain Reaction, but I've heard, because I do have contacts to people who have, I have people who went to both Chain Reaction and the Defiant tapings tonight. Well, tonight when I'm taping this. When I'm recording this, rather. This isn't a taping recording. Same thing. I don't care. But I do have friends who went to the show. Apparently, the next 3 episodes of Defiant are awesome. So, we'll have to...
Did they tease anything for it? Did they tease anything for you?
No. I don't want any teasers. All I know is that the shows are going to be great. And hopefully this time around, I don't go on Cage Match without thinking, because I went on Cage Match without thinking after We Are Defiant, because I wanted the stats for some title, and I saw that Austin Aries won the Defiant title. I was like, shit, fuck, I forgot they tape shows. But
yeah.
The
Chain Reaction this year was a big swing and miss. See, last year we didn't have the champion either, right? Well, we did have the champion, we didn't have a championship match.
The champion was in a promo
Yeah.
in
What?
2017. Drew Galloway. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
Right.
This year we had him in a tag team match, but he wasn't the last guy eliminated. Now I know it was an awesome moment with Kirby locking in the whatever it's called.
Last Chancery.
Last year, that's the one. But it kind of made me go,
Like,
because the one person that I would have, the one person I would have liked to been in it was Rampage versus Aries, because that hypes it up. When she's got Rampage versus Mark Davis, wasn't it? Rampage versus Mark Haskins. Rampage is gonna win.
yeah, Mark Davis and Mark Haskins are great too, but Austin Aries. Let me just put this in perspective real quick, okay? Austin Aries, the Defiant champion, the IPW champion, the Impact World champion, and the whatever Australian belt that is.
Who gives a fuck about Australia?
Sorry, Australians. But he holds 4 championships. 4 championships. And he tapped out to his own move, which, by the way, is ridiculous in and of itself. Because if it's your move, surely you should know every crook and cranny of it, how to get out, and etc.
Oh yeah, you're entirely right. Yeah.
So it's like, mate, you done this move for years, mate. Get out.
Mate.
But we do apologize if this review isn't very reviewy. Just kind of like, it's just kind of hard to get excited about the show, because
it's kind of our reflection on the show. Because this might not even be a review. This might just be like a little discussion about it. Because the only match that was even remotely interesting, and the crowd didn't even give a shit about this match, was the
SEC versus the 100. Yeah.
Yeah. And because the main event was great, but there was no. I hate to say this because I had Travis Banks in it, but in the world of Defiant, Travis Banks is not a huge star, right? And that, like, you can say, oh yeah, but he's got that world presence. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. In the kayfabe of Defiant, Travis Banks is a mid-carder. And yeah, he got 1 championship shot. Well, that's because Joe Coffey's good mates with him. That's why he didn't get it on pure merit.
Right.
Like it just makes you go. They could have done something. Stu. If they just put Stu in, like, if he did something in that main event to make the crowd go, yay.
It didn't make sense to just. It didn't really make sense to keep the 5th man a mystery until the day of the pay-per-view. Like, if you're making it a mystery until the day of the pay-per-view, it's like, oh, this is gonna be, this is gonna be hot. Ooh, can you feel the heat, brother? But, and Rampage is awesome, but it's just like,
just announce him.
Yeah, like
this is now becoming an issue because this is showing the lack of star power that Defiant has.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I understand. I understand they don't want to rely on imports and nothing but imports. But
that made WCPW great. we got to see our UK guys go up against some of the top world class talent. Because it's not like we saw the occasional, Ricochet and Ospreay, but we also got to see matches like Ospreay Kirby, Skrull taking on Hendry.
Some may argue that Ospreay versus Kirby 1 is the match that really made WCPW.
Yeah, and look, Ospreay, yes, he is the current junior heavyweight champion, right?
The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, I believe. I believe that's true.
Yes. And that is one of the big belts in Japan. And I get that. But, and I get that in Australia. But, you have to bring someone in. What?
I mean, Again, I can't stress this enough, and I feel like I'm saying this too much, but I have to keep saying it. Rampage is awesome. Rampage is so good. And I'm so happy that
Yeah,
he's back in Defiant.
sorry if it comes across that I'm hating on Rampage. I'm not.
Right.
I'm just saying they got our hopes up here to try and create a little bit of buzz because they knew it was dead.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. But they knew it was dead.
Let's just say this real quick. The only reason why we're being so hard on Defiant is because we know how good it can be. And yeah, we love it. And if you've seen my social media activity, you know. you know that I am a Defiant fan.
Because weeks 1 to 6 were very good. Not on the level of WCPW, but very good.
Right.
Right? 7, the chain reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I could do the, but I know that.
No, I could, because I even skipped out on 9.
9 was probably the best episode of the bunch, man.
It doesn't even feel like I missed much.
Well, to be fair, you didn't. But, well, I mean, I guess you did miss Primate losing the hardcore title to Havoc, but
also, predict constant rematches.
Hold on, before you keep going, I just realized something. For the next 3 weeks of Defiant, we're not going to have a hardcore champion. Moving on. So
he's back after that, isn't he? He's announced on the next taping.
Oh yeah, he is on Lights Out. I'm just saying for the next 3 weeks. Now, it's not as bad as Zack Sabre Jr., but
wait, is Lights Out after the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, they're gonna have 3 weeks of Defiant, and then the next week from Sunday to Saturday. Okay, the next 3 episodes of Defiant, right, are gonna be on February 23rd, March 2nd, March 9th, and then the next week there's gonna be nothing, and then on the Monday, March 19th, that's Lights Out. So
that doesn't bother me. It's better than a 9-week build. Also, this build was worn out.
Yeah, it felt too long. Like, I feel like if they maybe did 6 episodes, like 3 episodes, I feel like is really good, right? Even 6 episodes would have been fine, but 9's just like, that's 2 months.
Also, one thing I don't like: constant title matches on like free shows. When we get to the pay-per-views, there's one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, right? And no offense to Willie McKenzie, because she is killing it, right? Even though I went against her, we all know that although I didn't like the way she did her promo, it's a little nitpick. I love her German suplex. They are one thing and kill a woman, but I love them, right? But it just, there's that little core piece that made WCPW so special, and that was, you saw people that you didn't know go up against big stars. Now we don't get that. Now it's basically, I don't want to prove it because I don't really mean, but it's basically, it just feels like NGW.
Actually, I know this is off topic, and I get what you mean, but NGW is not bad. But regardless, well,
no, but NGW's have the star power, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really watch it, but
imagine it. Obviously, because obviously there are wrestlers in the UK and they get 5 stars, I think. But even if they brought in like a Mysterio or a Mundo, or even someone, there had to be someone that the crowd knew that they could have booked.
Well, I mean, I feel like I feel like that guy for Chain Reaction was Austin Aries. Which, he's the big name, and etc., etc. But I feel that Defiant are trying to build their own stars, which is,
It's not working.
Well, let's hold on. Because
No, I don't want to be mean, but my enjoyment level has flatlined.
well,
I don't really like the guy that goes, I'm only here for the big stars. Because I'm not. But I do like that flavour of, this guy that I know is on the show tonight.
Right.
Whereas now I'm just like, meh.
I mean,
Am I overreacting, or do I have a point?
I wouldn't say that you're overreacting, but
I just don't want to sound like one of those guys like, oh, I want the big stars. No, I just want somebody, right? I just want somebody
right,
from the WC to make it feel like it's just like it hasn't gone like because
like
there's
Marty.
definitely a downgrade from Defiant to WCPW.
Yeah, like Marty.
I don't want someone like a Mysterio there constantly, but like a British star, like a Marty or a Will Ospreay.
I mean, if we
Fantastic.
could get Rey Mysterio all the time, that would be cool.
Oh
But
no, I wouldn't complain.
we
You know,
don't
he's
have
probably
that
only
kind
be
of
there.
money.
Yeah.
Um,
But look, what I'm saying is we had Cody Rhodes there, not on a weekly basis, but at least he appeared like once a month.
uh-huh.
At least. When he, apart from that time where, you know, before he dropped it, where he was a bit busy with filming.
Mm-hmm.
But for that, a good 5 to 6 months we had him appear at least once a month. Most of the time it was twice. And that made it feel special, you know, a big star in a newborn promotion. Now Defiant comes along, and I'm regretting they changed the name. I was so hyped for Defiant, but now they changed the name, it's just gone.
To be honest, I don't think... Like, I get what you mean, but I feel like even if they didn't change from WCPW to Defiant, this would probably still be happening.
Oh no, but it's just like, you know what I mean? We could have got another couple months in there.
Well,
What was the last episode of Loaded? The main event, the last episode of Loaded was the 9-man tag, Ospreay and the SCC, Bullet Club, and the Prestige, right?
right.
That is a fantastic main event.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to go out to a bang, and I guess you could call it... Can you call that the go-home show to We Are Defiant?
Yeah, because I had a triple threat match. Essentially, had 3 of the members in the...
I mean, can you call it a go-home show if it's 2 months prior?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if you can, but whatever.
I think... I'm sorry if you guys were coming here for a chain reaction review, because it kind of hasn't become that.
Yeah,
But
we'll
we
get
can
to that in a
talk
few minutes. We'll get to that in a few minutes.
But, like, honestly, there's not much to talk about other than it was okay.
Yeah.
Because the show itself didn't even feel like a pay-per-view. It felt like I was just watching Defiant number 10.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
for the majority of
you
time,
know,
you couldn't even watch it.
For example, no regrets, right? Had a rumble, but the matches beforehand, Travis Banks versus Penta, incredible. Prince Amin versus Brandy Rhodes.
Don't
And
even
then we
do
had-
that, because when No Regrets rolled around, you were all for that match.
Yeah, I've kind of grown up.
I was the one against it.
And then we have the triple threat. That felt high stakes. And we had Rey Mysterio versus El Ligero, and then we had a fucking rumble. That is high stakes. This we had one-on-one, 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 tag, one-on-one, 5-man tag.
Hendry Show. Don't you dare forget about the Hendry Show.
Oh, sorry, I kind of affiliate that with Twitch and figure it's on the Chain Reaction show, because...
It's actually, it is on Chain Reaction.
But yeah, like, you see what I mean though, right?
I get what you mean, yeah.
And
But I'll say
even
this.
when
But
we
I'll say this though. Again, I've heard the next 3 episodes of Defiant are really good. So
Yeah, but is that just live crowd?
no, I've heard that one of the people that went mental. So you don't just go mental.
I think I know who that is, right? Can you cut this out? Is it flipping? It's not Kieran, it's the other one, right?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, please tell me.
I'll give them a shout out. Whatever. At least I think I'm gonna get it right. Kirsty Pie. Don't really know her social medias, but it's all good.
He follows you and likes your stuff a lot. You should know it by now.
He doesn't like my stuff a lot.
He does.
Yeah.
And if you ever like it, it's normally her.
Whatever. Shut the fuck up. But here's what I'm saying though. I feel like this was just a bad stint. And I feel like issues that were beyond Defiant's control really hindered tonight's, yesterday's, whatever day it is, show. And so, you just gotta roll with it. I think Defiant's gonna make a comeback. And I think that Lights Out, No Regrets. You know.
I hope it does. We're not being negative for the sake of we want it to burn.
No.
We're just being negative because this is the first time I'm going to say it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm finding it okay. I'm not going. Oh yeah. Now when I go into next week, unless you tell me that I'm not buzzing for next week's show.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing with it. If you came up to me and you asked me like a few months prior, if you asked me, so like, oh hey, are you gonna watch WCPW Loaded tonight? I would have done a backflip, pointed at you, and say, you better believe it, brother. Now if you ask me, hey, are you watching this week's episode of Defiant? It's like, yeah, I don't see why not. You know, so.
I mean, if you had mental, that means something happened, which probably means Chris Brooks has won the Internet Championship.
No. I doubt it.
No, I think it was Mike Bailey.
Kid like us.
Who is it between? Travis Banks?
It's
Mike
Travis
Bailey?
Banks, Chris Brooks, Mike Bailey, David Starr.
I really hope it's Travis.
I really hope it's David. Is David Starr a face? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. We got a review to do. So.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if I really want to comment on stuff, but I'll let you go ahead anyway.
I feel like we should just talk about the card anyway. You know, because people click on this, they want to know what happened.
This is what it's done to me. I'm very burnt out just by talking about it.
Well, let's just.
Like the crowd.
Right. Let's just talk about it. So, Rampage versus Zach Gibson.
Didn't watch.
Didn't watch. I watched the ending of it earlier today. When someone jumped the barricade, who was wearing, I think, the hoodie of Zach Gibson's wrestling school. And Zach Gibson won. After the match was over, Rampage gave the trainee 2 pile drivers. Not much to talk about. Zach Gibson won. Right result. But we couldn't see it live because the feed cut out. Now, we get to Drake comes out. But what we didn't see was Drake was about to make his entrance, right? And the power cut. The power cut in like the middle of his entrance. And we didn't get to see that. And so when Drake makes his entrance on the one you can actually watch, you can hear the crowd going like, oh, hey, when Drake comes out. Drake comes out, talks about how his name is Drake, and how when he says that his name is Drake, he means it, and that he was born with that name. And then the feed cuts out. And of course we're talking about the live version here. On Access Defiant, it's all good. The feed cuts out. Yeah. But what we didn't see was Drake versus Amir Jordan. Of course, it was meant to be Amir Jordan versus No Fun Damian Dunn. But Chris Ridgway, unfortunately, had to pull out of the show due to a little injury. He'll be back in no time, but for now he is injured. I've watched, I watched a little. I watched the match. It was alright. I don't know if you have, Alex.
Nope.
Yeah. It was alright from what I think. Drake won with his feet on the ropes. Okay. Drake wins. Next up, Gabriel Kidd versus Jern Simmons. Now, we did not see this match at all live.
We literally thought it went to the Joe Hendry.
I thought the crowd just sat in silence for a while. You know, just doing something.
Which means when we thought the crowd were dead, they actually had wrestling going on.
Yeah.
So that just shows that shows they just didn't give a fuck.
Oh no, I think they kept the wrestling going on just because, you know, they needed something for the on-demand version.
Well, yeah, but what it says is that the crowd didn't give a fuck.
Also, something interesting to point out. Not only did the live feed go out, right, because of the electricity and bowlers, but all What Culture related websites went down. apparently it was some sort of emergency maintenance from one of my contacts at whatculture.com. Apparently that's what it
Smug.
was. I don't know. Next up, did we talk about? Okay, no, we didn't talk about the result. I don't really know exactly what happened. But Prince Amin got involved. And Gabriel Kidd won. I think he won with the roll-up. I'm not exactly positive. But Gabriel Kidd did win. Nothing to really talk about. Like, I feel like we're not giving the people what they want, but honest to God, like, there's nothing to really talk about. Like, you know? So, if you are disappointed by this review, I'm sorry, and I understand, but, you know, that's how it is. So, next up, probably the highlight of the show, we move on to the Joe Hendry show with Stu Bennett as Sweet Stevie Aaron as the cameraman.
Wait, as well, big money on the line here.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
money
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
line.
yeah. So,
This was genuinely the one moment where I smiled in this show.
yeah. So, well, I kind of died when Drake said that his name was Drake and that he means it. He means it ended up being about how, like, he's not a gimmick, which is fine, but at the time it just sounded like, my name is Drake, and I mean it. You know what I mean? That was funny as hell.
I blew it.
What'd you say?
I said I blew meanie it.
What?
I get it.
What are you even talking about?
You said the word mean it, so I said I blew meanie it.
Stupid.
The blue meanie.
I get it. Now, but anyways. Joe Hendry show, Stu Bennett. Joe Hendry wants to be the 5th man on Team Defiant. And Joe Hendry says, you know, if you don't want to accept it, maybe I can get a little persuasive. At first he pulls out a £5 note. Is that what they're called? Notes?
Yeah, notes.
What the fuck? He pulls out a £5
bills,
note.
no?
Huh?
You call them bills, no?
We call them bills?
Yeah.
We don't just call them bills, like, we call them dollars. Some people may even call them bucks.
It's £5 note, you know?
Whatever.
Not just 5 notes.
Whatever. So, he pulls out a £5 note at first. And that doesn't work, so I was like, okay. How about a £20 note? Stu Bennett points out, Stu Bennett takes the £20 note and says, thank you, Joe, that'll be going to next month's electricity bill. Which was funny as hell.
I kind of need to talk about Stu and Joe in the segment with fan fucking.
Yeah. And so, Stu Bennett says, like, how on earth are we going to have you on the team when you have a restraining order, a restraining order on Travis Banks, one of the members of Team Defiant. And he was like, Stu, if you put me on the team, I will rip up this restraining order. In fact, I don't even need you to say it. I will rip it up right now. And he rips it up a lot. Like, a lot. And Stu says, well, looks like I have no reason to not put you on the team. But Joe, in the most pop-worthy moment of the night, says, but Joe, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Stu says, yeah.
Wow.
It's not like WWE can trademark that. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. That's the most vague thing in the world. But anyways, he says that there's no way that Stu is going to put the fate of Defiant and his job on the shoulders of Joe Hendry. At that point, Joe and Stevie try to get the restraining order back together. And they go over to the announce table, and now it's time for Chris Brooks and Mike Bailey versus El Ligero and David Starr. Now, the match was okay. Like,
It picked up towards the end. It was very good towards the end.
yeah. It was very long, though. At least I think it was very long.
Although the ending was quite original. Again, can I just be honest, whilst reviewing the show, I have nothing to say.
I noticed.
Like, sorry if this makes it come across as like he's sulking in the corner, but like, I just have nothing to say.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy the show.
Yeah. Same. I
Like,
mean,
like,
it wasn't.
It's like
It wasn't.
bad,
It wasn't.
dull.
Yeah, it wasn't a horrible show by any means. It just wasn't a great show.
It wasn't pay-per-view worthy.
No.
Like,
Which again, I do think they're gonna pick up on that. But this show.
also, we haven't really got anything that they said we would get on Access to Find anyway.
That is true. But whatever. The match goes on for a while. It gets good towards the end. El Ligero goes for the C4L. David Starr tags in. El Ligero hits the C4L. He pushes El Ligero out of the ring. David Starr pins Mike Bailey, I think it was. 1, 2, 3. David Starr wins. He takes a few victory laps around the ring. He gets back in the ring, and he is attacked by Joe Hendry. So the alliance.
Joe Hendry imitating David Starr was funny.
That was funny as hell. But
oh man, Joe Hendry was the saving grace of the show.
And then Travis Banks saved David Starr, and then Stu Bennett came out with the vacant Defiant Championship. And
Vacant did a good job.
Defiant Internet Championship, I mean. Did I not? I said that, yeah, the vacant Defiant Internet Championship. And he makes a fatal 4-way for this Friday, February 23rd, on Defiant Wrestling for the vacant internet title. The vacant interim internet title, I should say. It is going to be David Starr versus Mike Bailey versus Chris Brooks versus Travis Banks.
Wait, there was one bit of bullshit in here where Stu's like, believe it or not, you four were the most voted for people in the match. And I was like,
no way Chris Brooks was. But all the other three, yeah, I saw them mentioned. I don't think I saw Chris Brooks mentioned once. But whatever. Chris Brooks is great, by the way.
yeah. No offense to Chris Brooks.
Right, just didn't see his name.
Yeah, if they put the Garo or 100 in there, I'd go, yeah, you know.
Yeah. By the way, just quick side note. Congratulations to Joe Hendry for making it to the Commonwealth Games. He works really hard. He deserves it.
I can't wait to watch it on my television.
I probably won't watch it, but I will hear about it. So yeah.
I'll tell you what happened.
Congratulations to my boy, Joe Hendry.
Thank you, Joe. Good luck.
Commonwealth Games is going to be the Commonwealth Games. No, I'm speaking. The Commonwealth Games.
You are my master.
Shut up. The Commonwealth Games is going to be a real highlight. So.
And that's the news in 9 seconds. But what I was about to say is, if you're wondering why Joe hasn't been wrestling that much recently, fine, it's because he's not wrestling that many matches, because of course he's prepping for the...
Yeah, which is fine.
So me and Robbie had a little concept of putting Joe on commentary, because he is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Like, he does commentary for 5 Star Wrestling, which you can watch every Thursday at twitch.tv/Joe Hendry. And,
Wait, that's every Thursday now?
Hmm?
Wait, that's every Thursday now?
Every Thursday. um, but yeah, Joe Hendry is great on commentary.
I kind of say 5 Star is literally the dumping ground for ex-WWE guys. No offense.
The only two that I can really think of, or I guess three, is Rey Mysterio, Jack Swagger, and John Morrison.
Carlito.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chris Masters as well. Yeah, you're right.
Justin Gabriel's there from time to time.
Anyways, enough about that. We move on. But yeah, so just to clarify, this Friday, February 23rd, on Defiant Wrestling, it'll be Mike Bailey, David Starr, Travis Banks, and Chris Brooks.
Woo!
Yeah, for a fatal four match, the winner becomes the interim Defiant Internet Champion.
And again, I go woo.
Woo. But yeah. Next up, we move on to, I think, the match of the night. Again, I haven't really watched the women's match. I apologize for that. Ashley Dunn and Kelly Six, the South Coast Connection, versus the Hunter Brothers in a no disqualifications match. What
Now, I've said
a
it
match
before.
this was.
These two can do no wrong. They've not had a bad match.
Okay, this was a great match. But the crowd were dead. I don't really know why, but they were. It was great.
The crowd, yeah, the crowd. I think if this took place, I hope the crowd on the Defiant tapings are much more into it.
I've heard that they are.
Okay. Because
I feel like just chain reaction with the power cut and everything, just kind of
I think it was just a doom show from the start. Not a very good build.
Yeah.
And then this on top of it, let's just move on. But this match was fantastic. Dude, Jesus Christ, I thought they were going to die plenty of times.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, ridiculous.
If you haven't seen the match, there's not really anything we can describe. But
Right. Like, it was great. The
now,
most
by the way,
notable thing I can think...
The most... It doesn't mean it's bad. It just... I can't remember anything.
The most notable thing I can think of... Now, at one point, they used the ladder. For offense.
I remember.
And, like, the top part of it was kind of wobbly, right? Like, it didn't look like it was going to hold them.
I believe one of the Hunter brothers already got landed on it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember we both cringed really, really hard at it. But, so, the ending of the match. I'm trying to remember everything. I think Ashley Dunn was already on the ladder. I don't remember why, but I think he was.
I think he was prepping for a moonsault.
Something like that. And then one of the Hunter brothers, I apologize, I'll never know which one's which, but one of the Hunter brothers goes up after him on the same half of the ladder. And then Kelly Six comes in and puts them in a powerbomb position. And you can see Ashley Dunn and they're about to put him through a table. You can see Ashley Dunn about to jump off the ladder. Now, we were thinking like, oh, they're going to do a crossbody, right? They're going to do a crossbody. No, double foot stomp through the table. Good God. Was that that was the ending of the match, right? Yeah, that was the ending of the match. SEC win. What a match that was. You were trying to say something?
I just said good God Almighty.
Yeah. What a match this was. Wish the crowd was more into it, but they weren't. Great.
Now we move on to the double main event, which, meh. Again, I hate to say it, but meh.
Right, that's what the show was. Like, the show was meh.
You think, double main event, and you're thinking, I hate to bring it back to stat, but you think double main event, you think stat, you think Osprey, Skull, you think Ricochet Mysterio. That's a double main event. No, I'm not being sexist here because the match in Millie McKenzie and Kelly Ray was fantastic.
Right.
But the rest of the show let it down. Because it was at a point in the show where nobody gave a fuck. Everyone was worn out by absolutely nothing. Because it was just so... it's not dreadful. It was so bland. That it worn you out before we could get to the main event.
Right.
And no one even cared about the main event itself, let alone this match.
I feel like the crowd eventually got going in, like, the last match. But, you know, it's just...
Anyway, this match was fantastic. It was basically Suplex City for Millie McKenzie and Kaylee Ray, and eventually she wins the belt. Congratulations. This girl is 17.
Yeah.
She is not that much older than me. I'm gonna Google her birthday. Yeah.
Millie McKenzie's 17 years old. Imagine where she's gonna be by the time she's 30. Crazy stuff. If she's wrestling like that and she's 17 years old, just imagine what she's gonna do when she's in her prime. If she's this good now, just imagine. Just imagine. Millie McKenzie is gonna be huge. She's gonna be one of the... I'm calling it now. Millie McKenzie, you can put me on record. Eventually, in the future, Millie McKenzie is going to be one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
I do not. I do not doubt.
I assume you're saying you do not doubt it?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Her date of birth is unknown.
Okay. All we know is that she's 17 years old. Really young. And she's the new Defiant Women's Champion. Good for her. Can't wait to see what she does with that belt. Not much more to talk about, though. I mean, Millie's awesome. And she's gonna be huge. But, you know, I haven't really watched the match. Like, the whole thing. So, again, apologies. So many apologies for that. But, you know. But, yeah, because he's new Defiant Women's Champion, let's move on to the main event of the evening. We have Team Defiant, Martin Kirby, Primate, BT Gunn, Travis Banks, and Rampage versus Team IPW, Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Haskins, No Fun, Damian Dunn, and Austin Aries, who is, of course, the Defiant Champion, IPW Champion, Impact World Champion, and I think the World Series Wrestling Champion. I think. I'm not positive, but I think. The losing team's general manager must leave Defiant Wrestling. It was alright. What did you think of the match, Alex?
Meh.
Yeah, I mean...
It was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But not... It wasn't... I want to be positive.
I feel like when...
I want to be positive because it was good. But I was so worn out by this point in the show that I just wanted to turn it off. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because they're like Team Defiant, right? They won. Team Defiant won, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they shouldn't have.
Well, I mean...
No, I don't mean that in terms of booking stuff. I mean in terms of personalities, wrestlers. They shouldn't have.
Right.
Like,
but
it makes me go, this could have been so much better.
Right, but if you think about it, at the time we did our predictions, we both had IPW, but what we didn't know is, at the time, I think they announced it the next day, was that the losing team's general manager was going to leave Defiant. We just assumed that the winner gets bragging rights. So we chose IPW. Because why wouldn't it be IPW? Well, I guess IPW has gotten a leg up on almost everything else. So I don't know. But, yeah. By the way, at the beginning, when Kyle Fletcher rolled up Primate, I'm pretty sure that neither of them were the legal man. I'm pretty sure the legal men at the time were Aries and Kirby. But, whatever.
Just like that.
Hmm?
Like, again, we've now come full circle. We've looked at the show. What did we have to say about from it? It was alright.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this show gave you...
Something pretty notable to mention was after Austin Aries got eliminated by his own submission move by Martin Kirby, Aries and Haskins got into a bit of a pushing fight.
I really hope it's Haskins versus Aries. I'll be honest.
I do think that Aries is eventually going to join Defiant as a babyface, but I think for now he's going to be kind of a tweener. Like I think he's still going to be with the IPW squad, but there's going to be dissension, and eventually Aries is going to join the bright side. Defiant, that is, and yeah, but eventually Rampage hits a pile driver on Mark Davis.
Now, look, I get it, but this could have been the great chance for a Kirby or a Banks to be that babyface that is maybe against the odds, maybe 3-on-1, and they do it. But they gave it to Rampage, and I'm sorry, but
I think they do really want to build up Rampage, and I think a lot of people want to see Rampage get built up because he was one of the stars of WCPW that just never felt like they were booking him right. Rampage is just that guy who was never booked correctly in WCPW, and I feel like they're rectifying that now in Defiant. But I do understand what you say about like Kirby and Banks. Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
yeah.
But
Now, do we know if Joe Coffey was at the 19th show? Or is
Don't
Joe
know.
Coffey in?
Coffee might be busy. You ever thought about that?
No.
Wrestler being busy. What are they like? But yeah, Coffee might have been not injured. He might have been injured, but he probably is just busy. Yeah. Team Defiant wins. IPW is maybe gone. I don't know. I know the IPW guys aren't gone because Haskins and Ridgeway are. Well, I don't know about Ridgeway, but I know Haskins is promoted for Defiant shows. I almost said WCPW. Defiant wins. That's Chain Reaction. It was a show. Yep. Alex, any thoughts?
Do better. I don't want to come across as some smart kid, but you guys, you've done it before. And I don't want to say Blompierre's gone to that shit, but that's how it's looking. Because Blompierre wasn't the booking team, and I think we forgot that. No? And, I'm not saying obviously he had the wrestlers, but even so, his stories made sense. Now look, obviously Blompierre's a sticky situation, but Blompierre was fucking good. And currently, it looks like the SmackDown situation with Matt Ward. Or Ryan Ward. Not Matt Ward, Ryan Ward.
I get what you mean.
Because it looks like Blompierre made a massive factor, because as soon as he's gone, the show's gone.
But, again, from what I've heard, it looks like the shows are going uphill. But,
I'm not seeing this. Where are you seeing this?
I'm
in the Wrestling Boys.
It's probably deep in there, dude.
Well, I'm at like 11 PM from yesterday.
Well, I don't know. But it's in there somewhere. But yeah. So
Like, you already found a Reddit page with the spoilers.
I knew about it already. I
I'm
knew
like,
that on the what was WCBW subreddit, people posted spoilers, and someone in the Discord was looking for spoilers. So I was like, look, I don't recommend spoilers, but if you must look at them, here you go. But yeah, that's Chain Reaction. I apologize for how boring this review probably was, but it was kind of a boring show. It really
I'll
was.
review how
What'd you say?
this review reflects the enjoyment of
The enjoyment of the show, yeah.
Weird, like, no, like, obviously I don't want
You're kind of breaking out. Get
to,
closer.
I don't want to, like, I don't want to, like, get off track, but can we just talk about how sexy that poster is from the 19th chair?
Oh yeah, it's a, ooh, ooh, it's a good poster. But anyways, that's Chain Reaction. Did you guys enjoy the show? Let us know in the comments section down below. Are you looking forward to the future of Defiant? Also, let us know that in the comments below. And by the way, myself and Alex will be reviewing weekly episodes of Defiant Wrestling. We don't know what days they're going to be coming out, but they will be coming out. so we're gonna try to get Fridays or Saturdays. But if that's impossible, then we'll see. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. I've been Robbie. He's been the Wrestling HQ. And until next time,
I have a name, you know.
he's been Alex Kingdom, but your channel is the Wrestling HQ. And until next time, go fuck yourself. And I'll see you soon.